Good evening, everyone. Welcome to PF International. Welcome to the Paddock Show for Event 8 of the Wera Tools Motorsport UK British Kart Championships. My name's Andrew Mather. Alongside me, once again, Keol Lynch. Keol, it's another hot weekend here at PF. We were here 2 weekends ago for Kart Masters. We were at a very, very grippy Wilton Mill last week as well. I've heard so far this weekend from drivers, this is the grippiest they've ever experienced PF, which is saying something.
I know, complete scorcher this weekend so far. I feel like it's been a trend this year talking about the weather so far, but it has been absolutely undeniable this weekend. And like you said, the track is probably grippier than ever, that we've seen a lot of these UK circuits that we've recently been at. Of course, deja vu for us because we were just at Kart Masters, but it's great to be back.
We've gone very Euro this weekend. Lots of returning faces across the categories. As we're filming this is Saturday evening, so we've had a full championship round today. So we'll get you up to speed with all of the news. Hang on, there's a problem here. I know my glasses are a little bit broken today and they're falling apart, but am I seeing double?
I don't think they're broken.
You don't think they're broken?
I don't think so.
Who's this then? Come on in, she's back. Nicole, welcome back once again. You're looking very tanned.
I'm feeling very tanned. I'm feeling very hot as well, like you said. Weather is a scorcher, but how good to be back at the Wera Tools British Kart Championship. It's like coming home. It really is. It's good to be back with the Dream Team, of course, as well. And yeah, Andrew?
Yeah, you do some work. Have that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm off.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need to go to Specsavers. You're not seeing double. It's the Keol Paddock Show today. It's Nicole Sutherland and Keol Lynch, and we're going to start you off on our walk around the paddock.
That's right, Nicole. It is brilliant for the paddock to see you back. Talk us through your year so far. You've been busy out in Europe. You've made your return to the British Kart Championships though this weekend.
Yes, so like I said, it's like coming home when I come back to a British Championship. Of course, I started my career in motorsport here. I used to race in this paddock. I've been out in Europe, like you said, in different championships. The biggest one being the FIA Karting European Championship, which has covered lots of different countries within Europe. And actually, some of those drivers will be probably included in this paddock show, which we could look to kick things off going into the Jade Racing team. Of course, Jade Racing is a team that sports the Birolart chassis. Birolart, one of those teams, a factory team in the world of FIA as well, a team run by the likes of Ronnie Sala and the Sala family, and also under the guidance of Jordan Lennox-Lamb. But the UK version, of course, branded as Jade Racing under the Jade family, has drivers like Macy Hitter in the tent. Macy, unfortunately, didn't race today. She's suffering a little bit with a rib injury that was sustained earlier on in the year, but a driver that is not just involved in karting, but Formula 4 as well. One of the female drivers on the grid, of course, and has been involved in the Miami paddock for a number of years, even stemming back to her days of Coles Racing, when Coles were involved in Miami, which now is going back a little while. We've got other names in here, and then, of course, we have the Tim Wilson branded karts as well. We'll see if we can try and find some drivers. Found one. Come over. Okay, Jade Racing, great team, Birol chassis, grippy track here this weekend at PF. Tell us, you know, the kart itself, the performance, is it as bad as people are maybe saying or making it out to be with the grip levels?
I think it's perfectly fine. I don't know why people are saying like KR is better or something, but I think it's perfectly fine.
And of course, double-header weekends for drivers is quite full-on, and maybe a Saturday, some drivers go a little bit more high-risk, high-reward, and then rein it in on a little bit on a Sunday. Can you tell us the mindset switch from a Saturday to a Sunday? Anything change for you? Are you going to adjust anything going into tomorrow?
Well, we're definitely going to fix the car since I did get into a crash with Freddie Lloyd in the final, but probably the car will be changed and probably an engine, since one of the engines cut off literally as soon as I was about to start on the grid.
Well, good to hear from you, and we'll see how tomorrow goes. Of course, Sunday is a big day for our drivers. Keol has now scattered somewhere, so the twin will return in a moment's time. She'll probably appear, and then I'll get confused and think that I need to go to Specsavers, that there's some sort of mirror coming around in the paddock. Found you. Keol, who have you got? Fred Wood.
Thank you very much, Nicole. I'm here with Freddie Wood. We're going to walk back towards his awning, so we'll let our cameraman move this way. Now, Freddie, I know today, it's Saturday night here at PFI. Today wasn't ideal for you. However, your run in Senior X30 so far, you've been really improving. How have you found it so far this year?
Yeah, well, I had a very bad first round at Wilton, but then from then on it's been going uphill, like, very well. So Larkpool got my first podium on the Sunday, and then podium on Saturday at Wera, and then one on Sunday, which was really good. Had good heats here today, but sadly final didn't quite work out, but we'll go again tomorrow and see what we can do.
Did I say senior?
Yeah.
Okay, junior I mean. But let's talk your experience here recently. You've been doing really well. We saw you at Kart Masters. Now, Kart Masters is one we always know is kind of unexpected. Here is Fusion. We're going to take a small stroll past the huge Fusion awning this weekend. How are you feeling after Kart Masters? Because although it wasn't the result you wanted, it's exactly the confidence that I guess you kind of needed heading into this weekend.
Yeah, it all went quite well at Kart Masters, just made a little mistake in the final, which then cost us the win, but yeah, we've had good pace around here all week and last week as well, so hopefully we'll win tomorrow and see what we can do.
And of course, recently you've had your first win in junior here in the Wera Tours British Kart Championships. That must be an incredible feeling. I know we spoke to you for a little bit after that, but talk us through how it feels to you're a driver that's raced in this championship for years. How does it feel to then finally grasp that win, and then you followed it on with some really good results throughout?
Yeah, it always brings a lot of confidence then into the next races. Then you know you can outrace these people, you can definitely give them a run. So yeah, we'll see what we can do for the rest of the championship.
Great job. We'll let you get on.
Thank you.
This is the perfect time to talk more transitions being made this weekend. Right here is Rocco Shenton's kart. Not what we have seen of it before, because Rocco Shenton has transitioned into senior this weekend. Doing a brilliant job in the heats, he started on pole position and then didn't get the result he wanted in the final. However, this being his third ever day in the senior kart definitely hasn't disappointed. Nicole, who have we got?
I've got a certain Sophie Campbell who just asked quite an entertaining question then, Kiol. Are we sisters? Debatable. We could be. Sophie, good to have you here. PFI for you, one of your stronger tracks, and a track that you've been racing on since, of course, your Water Swift days with Fusion. Now, of course, back with the DMS family. Talk us through today. How's your day gone?
It's gone really bad. Kart Masters was really good, but I think there's just something not right, so we're going to fix it tonight and then go tomorrow.
So something not right, and that, of course, in the world of karting could mean a number of things. It could be chassis-wise, engine-wise, driver-wise. Sophie, for you, what is the thing that's not quite been, tip-top shape?
We're not very sure, but we're changing a lot of things tonight. So tomorrow we'll just go and hopefully do what we did in Kart Masters and go good.
Well, Sophie, we'll see if you can replicate that Kart Masters result. Thank you very much. Of course, this weekend at PFI, we're joined by the M1 Bambinos that we are going to catch up with in a moment's time. But here is a certain Rocco Shenton. Kiol?
Thank you very much, Nicole. Picking up from where Nicole left off, I guess we'll never know if we are sisters or not. Let's keep walking though, because I've got Rocco Shenton with us. Rocco, I did just brief the Paddock show here on your transition into senior this weekend. I said you started on pole position for the final. Tell us how it's going though from your perspective.
Yeah, obviously we put it on pole for the final, but the final didn't sort of go our way with a few hiccups, but we'll go again tomorrow and see how it goes.
What's the biggest difference you're finding? Because we hear a lot about the jump into the big kart, of course, mini to junior, and how physically challenging that is. And a lot of the mental game with junior to senior is then with, we're going to talk a little bit louder in case you can hear the noise going on behind us, but it's a mental game. How have you found it this weekend, being your first?
Well, being racing older kids, you sort of have to crack on with it and see how it goes, because you can't really be scared sort of thing, because we're only human at the end of the day.
You're also on a new chassis. How are you finding it?
Yeah, it seems a lot better. I'm not going on two wheels every corner.
Absolutely. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll let Rocco get on. He's a perfect example of the transitions that are being made this weekend. As we're nearing the end of the season, drivers like Rocco that wasn't going to win the championship or didn't think he had a good chance, it's kind of the perfect opportunity for him to prepare himself for next year, really.
Yeah, of course, and you do notice as well that Rocco is a taller driver. He was incredibly tall to be, a junior X30. He's even one of the taller ones in a senior X30, and for drivers, what that means is that the centre of gravity shifts around in the karts, especially in dry, hot conditions like what we've had over this heat wave in the UK makes it incredibly difficult for these drivers, and actually might encourage a driver to make a change at this time of the year, because you're going to be fighting against yourself when you're in that sort of phase of, okay, I've got to really preserve the tyre in conditions where you're going to chew the tread out, and being taller, being heavier, and naturally throwing more weight around the kart, which is going to take that tread away, would just maybe say to some drivers, okay, we're going to make the change now, take it early, and for an experienced driver like Rocco, it's worked. Now that was seniors, there are older drivers. Now we're going to our youngest drivers, the M1 Bambinos. We're here in the RCE tent, and we're going to switch to Brylan then. Bryella Stevens' dad. Brylan, this weekend, Bryella is back in the field. Brightly liveried car, of course, RCE with the pink details. You know, seeing Bryella grow over the past couple of the years, because she's been in the British Championship for 2 years now, what's it been like for you as a parent?
It's actually her first year in the championship for the British, but no, I'm proud of her. This weekend there was a lot of overtakes. Not really happy with the position, but I feel with this try again tomorrow, I think we should have a better result.
And I want to maybe hone into the team as well. Why RCE? You know, we know that the team have done big things. You know, last weekend they booked some tickets to Portugal, to Portimao in the E10 cadet class with Ansel Murray. But why the team itself? Why the guidance maybe of Dave?
It's actually a completely left field answer. It's because there's a lot of women in this team, and a lot of the parents' mums come. And Bryla, like, she's a social person, so I thought this was the best fit for her. So that was the main thing that drew me to it, and then obviously you get the help with the data and everything else. So yeah, we're good.
Brian, thank you very much for your insights. Of course, this is a team itself that stemmed in history when it comes to chassis-wise as well. RCE, great team, been around for years and have brought many a driver through the ranks. Maybe another one to come through the ranks as well is Shay here. Shay, can you not do your shoelaces up just yet, mate?
Yeah.
Can you? Because I'm pretty sure I'm watching Keogh lace your boots up for you. Right, Shay, we're going to come down. Okay, today, really good day for you pace-wise. Maybe things didn't go well for the final for you. We've also taken some prizes home as well after a pole position.
Yep. I got a toolbox and 3 sets of tyres.
And Shay, talk us through that final, because, you know, for you were at the front, but something happened. Can you dive in a little bit deeper and tell us a bit more?
So I was in first in the final, and then I was on the back of the Presley Knight, and then he braked a bit earlier than me. I worried, I braked, and then he went flat out, and then he couldn't quite turn that much and went into the side of George and Ash.
But Shay, you've been one of the drivers that's been up there this year, haven't you? You, Presley, Teddy as well, you know, wins on the card. What's it like driving against those two drivers?
Yeah. Yesterday in practice it was all right with Presley, but Teddy, some things have just happened to Teddy. He's dropping off. His engines are getting too hot. They need to cool down.
Well, Shay, thank you very much. Great to see those prizes that you got yourself earlier on today, and we'll see you tomorrow, okay? So that is Shay, of course, one of your Bambinos competing this weekend. This is a circuit that, of course, has lots of history, but it's a circuit that invites those younger drivers that are going to make new history. And one of those could be Bryella Stevens, who is now with Kiel.
Thank you very much, Nicole. We're now going to swivel our cameraman one more time this way, don't get too dizzy. Now, Bryella, we actually just heard from your dad, but as we walk towards the B paddock that we're going to try and get to, see some teams and faces we've not spoke to yet this weekend, we're going to walk this way. Come on. I'm going to tear her away from her team there at RCE. Bryella, we just heard from your dad about the experience of moving into a team. You've been with RCE so far this year. There he is. Yeah. How are you finding it with RCE this year?
I find it very good. I like the team RCE. We get to do the data, useful, because when I'm not in a team, I don't know what I'm really doing and stuff like that. So RCE is a good team to be in.
And how much does that kind of help you learning from your teammates? Because one thing we see a lot of within this championship, especially for you younger drivers, is that you learn from each other, you can compare data, and once you're a privateer, you kind of have a disadvantage. Do you think that helps you a lot?
Yeah.
Now, if we talk PF specifically, what do you think? It's absolutely roasting out there this weekend. Is this making your job harder?
No.
Not too much?
be hotter than colder.
I think I agree with that one, Briella. Now, talk us through how your final went. Of course, these are double-header weekends. From now on in the championship, there is only double-header weekends left. How did today go?
The final wasn't great because at the start, at the rolling, at the, what's it called again?
The start, that's okay.
Yeah, the start, I needed to warm up my engine and I didn't go fast, so I didn't have a very good start.
That's one of the things you've learnt then heading into tomorrow. Is there anything else you have in your mind into tomorrow?
Just to do the hairpins better.
What do you have to do better at the hairpins?
Quicker feet.
Quicker feet. Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Briella.
You're welcome.
We'll let Briella go back to her video game that she was playing in her van over there. Another brilliant example of a team that really supports the younger talent being RCE. Nicole, who have we got now?
Well, I have none other than Hannah Lang with me, but not the DJ Hannah Lang, the KZ2 driver Hannah Lang, which, in my opinion, is much better. Hannah, nice to see you here. Last time we caught up, it was over in Genk, where you were back in the seat fighting Sharp, of course, amongst a European grid. Karting has been your world. It's still your world. Can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Karting, I've been in karting since about 6 years old, still racing in the KZ category in Europe and in England, and also coaching a lot of the younger drivers now in Bambino.
And of course, you know, for us females in the sport, we're here to prove that it's a space for absolutely everybody. We just spoke to a number of drivers, one of those being Briella Stevens, one of the smaller drivers, one of the small female drivers here this weekend at PFI. And for you, Hannah, as a driver that has climbed the ranks, what would you actually say to a driver of Briella's age now, a young little girl climbing through the sport?
Just no matter what, keep going, just keep your mind strong, just keep focused.
Hannah, great to catch up with you as always, and car keys in hand, so I know Hannah's trying to shoot off to go and get some dinner. So we now have arrived at BMR. This is a team under the guidance of Ben Platten. This is a team, of course, a restart team that has been in the paddock for a number of years and, of course, has won a number of very big IAME titles here at PFI. Those titles mostly belonging to Harry Platten, son of Ben, who cleaned up at IAME O plates. He's a GP champion. He's, of course, taken some big titles here at PFI. And now we have Ben taking his drivers through the ranks, and Kjell has another one of those.
Thank you very much. We have now reached BMR, of course, run by Harry Platten and his dad. Now, we've got Henry Clark here with us, who's in Junior X30. You're actually a guest driver. We've been talking on the Paddock Show as this is what we see more of at this stage of the year. You get to the end of championships, you've got drivers like yourself that want to come in and spice things up or kind of set themselves up well for next year. What was your kind of aims heading into this weekend?
Well, we had a good result at Kart Masters. We had a P5, so it was just to have another good result like that and maybe just to spice the championship up a little bit.
And you've come in with a very experienced team. Of course, Harry Platten himself has been seen to do very well at the likes of Kart Masters. What was your decision when you decided to go to BMR for this one?
Well, we'd been at BMR before when we were in Waterswift, and we knew Ben knew how to set the juniors up very well. So yeah, that's the reason we joined BMR.
These double-header weekends, they're not all easy. You've joined for a scorcher. Is that kind of making an extra challenge out there on track?
Yeah, of course. It's very hot in the car, very sweaty, obviously, and yeah.
How do you think you're handling out there? Because the track is possibly more, it's got the most rubber than we've probably seen for a long time on there. Do you think that handles much differently for you guys on such long, intense race days?
Yeah, there's so much grip. It's like quite tricky to hang round the corner and stuff, and yeah.
And then, of course, you've had one final go. What's your aim for tomorrow?
Just improve on today. Yeah.
Well, best of luck. We're interrupting the traffic. So, oh, that's Dan Parker traffic. Perfect. Speak to you soon, Henry. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, it would only be right to speak to Dan Parker, because who else would be interrupting the Paddock Show? Dan Parker. We're going to walk with him. Can he give us a wave? Oh, look
He doesn't
at
want to
that.
speak to us, Kjell.
The Nikiol Paddock show has been ruined.
Oh, we've been denied. We've been
Dan
denied.
Walker.
Okay, Kiol, I've got a certain person. We're not going to talk too much about Rocco Shenton, but I do want to highlight him one more time and actually speak to one of the men behind the magic for Rocco, Charlie, engine builder for Mojo Racing Engines as well. So we're just going to pop into the van. Charlie, this is where the magic happens. Of course, this is where all of the refreshments of Rocco's engines happen. Can you maybe get a bit technical for us and for the audience, anybody out there that's new to IAME, to just talk about what happens in between sessions when you're just sort of looking amongst the machinery and the equipment?
Yeah, so normally I have for every driver 2, maybe 3 engines. Start on a test engine, normally do 3 or 4 sessions like that, and then we try probably a carburetor every run, leaner, richer. Some drivers, like Rocco for example, because of how hard he drives, he'll have a richer carb versus someone else who may be a bit softer on the throttle. So just trying to get the best for every driver, and then yeah, come the end of the day, we'll bolt up, put the race engine on.
And Charlie, you're one of the big people involved in Rocco's driving. Have you got anybody else out there in the grid this weekend or in the paddock?
Yeah, so today I'll highlight him restricted. Patrick Wood, he poled it in the qualifying and then come second in the final. Then in senior, obviously Rocco started pole and Jack Nettleship went off grid 3. Not quite good enough in the race, but we'll go again tomorrow and see.
Charlie, great to catch up with you. Thank you very much. And thanks for letting us in the van, because sometimes it can get a bit secretive amongst these engine builders. Other engine builders, of course, involved in the IAME paddock. You've got the likes of Aventus Power. It's all a bit of a competition as well amongst the people that make the equipment, the people that run the equipment, the engine builders. The drivers, of course, run different chassis. So you've got different chassis brands competing out. BMR, that we've just popped into. They, of course, run various different chassis. You've got drivers on the OTK product, but you've also got a mix of Kart Republics in there as well. We spoke to Jade, who, of course, have Birrell. You then had Rocco, he's OTK. But you've got a number of different things. And we've also got the likes of Excel in the back paddock that run with Energy Course. Talking of engine builders, we've got Shocks just walking past as well. Shocks have had a number of championship wins, especially successful in the likes of IAME, Water Swift. And, you know, it's great to see Johnny Shocks always in the paddock when he can be here, and one of those characters in the paddock that is known and loved, of course. We've got in the background a certain Teddy Wilson with a Josh Poulain. Josh in his own right has competed in the British Championships, but in the Rotax classes. And then we've got Teddy, who has been through the ranks, of course, within FIA karting, IAME karting, and is now one of the big names involved with Harry Williams, a young driver who is part of the McLaren junior programming, a driver that has competed in the Water Swift category in the British Championships, but hasn't appeared this year in 2026 until this weekend. He's now, of course, over with Premium. He's got Teddy with him all weekend long, all year long. We're going to try and catch up with Teddy when he's finished his conversation. I'm going to be really rude and interrupt. Teddy, can I grab you? Sorry, had to be done. Harry's back into things, of course, this weekend. The decision to come back to the British comes from where?
Just something different, to be fair. We've been racing OKJ, so yeah, just a chance to try something different, new surrounding, the different tyres and stuff like that. So just throw him at the deep end. Not done any testing or anything, so it's just been good for him to experience something new and try and adapt quickly, really. So yeah.
And, okay, I'm going to highlight maybe the fact that Harry is a McLaren junior driver. As a coach, as somebody that is sort of partially responsible for keeping his head on his shoulders, do you see add pressure, take away pressure? What do you think when you've got that kind of logo on your back?
To be honest, I think it's been a positive for him, really, in terms of just having the support. So they've been super helpful, and Harry's, taking it to very well, and it's just, added support for him, really. So it's happy, everybody's happy around him, and he's doing a good job. So,
Teddy, of course, you raced yourself. You raced in karts and cars. Do you miss it?
Yeah, always. But you get to get out a couple of times a week sometimes with Harry, so that's always nice to do a bit with him. So.
Do you get competitive, even though he's really young? Do you get yourself like a little bit competitive when maybe you're not too far away from him, or you're not fast enough compared.
Yeah, it's super close to be fair, so it's always fun. But it's good fun for us to get out on track and be able to do it, and then it adds a bit of credibility when we're trackside and telling stuff to do. So it's good. It's good all around really. So it's nice fun days, and keeps everything exciting.
Teddy, great to catch up with you.
Thank you.
So we just highlighted some of the talent, of course, that the Wera Tools British Kart Championship pulls into this grid. McLaren talent this weekend. Talking of talent, Josh Poulane.
Hey, Nicole.
Hey. Okay, Josh. Oh, I'm great. How are you?
Living the dream. Living the dream.
Josh, you've turned driver to coach to mechanic, dual job, of course, you're one of those coaches.
Yeah.
Sometimes you jump on the tools as well. I've just been talking about chassis within karting. Can you tell us, for a mechanic, setup-wise, how much do you vary what you're doing when you sort of jump from kind of like, we'll give you a bit more of a view, when you're jumping from kind of OTK over to Kart Republic, is it a big difference mechanically?
Mechanically, no. I think driving-wise, yes. We spent last week here back-to-back in the 2 frames, so we had a Kart Republic down and obviously our new LN. And it's mainly a driver preference. A lot of drivers adapt differently. Archie's a very versatile driver, so he's enjoying the switch. So it was worth a change.
And we just spoke to Teddy Wilson, who's with Harry Williams, who's one of those drivers that is returning to the championship for the first time this year. Archie is one of those drivers as well. He's done a stint out in Europe and he's now jumped back. As a mechanic, how much has he had to kind of adjust things since coming back to the UK? Big difference, would you say?
Yeah, I think British racing is very different. A lot more aggressive. Definitely need to get the elbows out a bit, and he's adapting well. Obviously the P7 at Kart Masters went well, pace is there, so see how we get on tomorrow.
Josh, thank you very much for your time. Thanks for letting me ambush, of course. So, Twin is over there, and I'm going to go find her. Keol, you've collared 2 drivers. Go on.
Thank you very much. I've actually found some fellow Irishmen. Now, let's swivel once again because we're going to take a rather swift walk to, either side. I'll go in the middle and we can catch all the... There we go. All right, off we go. We're going to head towards the B paddock, which is actually where I fished you guys out from. Now, with me today, I've got some 2 returning faces, but for the first time this year, we've got Christian Kobe and Danny Dempsey. Now, can't decide where to start. We're going to start with you, Christian. Now, we saw you, for starters, your history here at PFI. You won the GP plate last year in Water Swift. What's it like being back here at PFI?
Yeah, it's very nostalgic in a way. It's nice to be back here. It's definitely one of my favourite tracks. It's really, really, really nice to be back, and better to be back in a faster kart. Feels good.
Well, exactly. The jump from Water Swift, the mini kart, to that big kart is spoke about often, and it can be really a make or break kind of couple of years for those drivers. How have you found it physically?
Physically, it's not that bad. Obviously, I've been doing OK in OKJ, so I'm obviously very strong as it is. So I actually haven't struggled with it that much, but it is more physical than I thought it would be at this track.
All right, thank you very much. We'll let you go back to where you were now that we've got to where we found you.
Thank you very much.
That is Kobe Christian. Now, Danny will head past. Danny, you're another driver returning. You are returning for your first British race in junior. How have you found it? Because it's kind of different for each driver. Their experience is definitely different. Some find it more challenging than others when stepping up into the big kart.
Genuinely, we found it pretty not too bad. It's been good few runs. We've been racing in Ireland for the first start of this year, and then we've moved to England, obviously, to just learn a bit more. Change car, obviously, second part of the year, and yeah, it's been genuinely good.
Now, what's it like? Because it's kind of underestimated the amount of travel that you must do. Of course, you're not from here. Do you think that kind of gives you more of a disadvantage at times for drivers that may do the club races here weekend in, weekend out, or consistently racing here?
It can make a disadvantage sometimes, but not something that I would really focus on. But yeah, just happy to be here.
Absolutely. And to finish it off, you are a privateer driver. Now, that can also be another challenge. We see drivers absolutely excel and prove to us that it can be done as privateers. How have you found it here this weekend?
Genuinely, I thought it was going to be much tougher because all the returning OKJ drivers and like all the good drivers here. And yeah, I think it's been good so far with a few top 10 results in the heats and then a disappointing final with the DNF.
Now, is the weather quite like this in Ireland at the minute?
It's been good now for once in the past 10 years, I'd say. It's been very good.
Oh, okay, so when you go back, you won't be missing this weather too much?
No, not really. Not really, no. It's kind of the same, pretty much.
All right, thank you very much. Now you can go and find Christian Kobe once again. Thank you very much. That is Danny Dempsey. Nicole is with another very familiar face from this paddock. What have you got?
Well, Kiel, I've got the Louis Johnston call. The being the key word. Louis, good to have you here. Well, I say good to have you here. You're literally glued to a kart paddock. You're always here. Louis, of course, Premium is your home this weekend. Premium have got 4 big drivers in the mix. You've got Whitcomb, Lloyd, Williams, and of course Finn Lines. Your driver coach are on the data for the juniors this weekend. For you, what have you observed so far around the track for 2 drivers that actually championship-wise are well, Harry not so much because he's a wild card, but he's a big name fighting for some trophies at the end of this weekend. What have you observed so far?
No, Harry's done really well so far. He's come into the team this weekend, done a little bit with him before in Wackersdorf, got on really well. He's putting up a really good show, to be fair. It's quite difficult to adapt from the OKJ to the X30 bit, but he's doing a good job. A couple of mistakes in the final, but I'm sure he'll be absolutely tip-top tomorrow. Finley did a really good job, being unfortunate with some setbacks that didn't start in the second heat, unfortunately, which was a bit poor, but then he came back in the final and finished 3rd, which is a really good drive from, I think, 18th, I think.
And Louis, of course, for you, you've actually raced for a number of years. Seniors was your home for quite a while. Senior grid, okay? It's quite fiery this year from what we've observed. It's been fiery today. 2 of those names, of course, in your tent, Whitcomb and Fred Lloyd. For you as an experienced driver in Senior X30, what do you watch from Lloyd and Whitcomb, 2 big championship names, that actually makes them as good as they are?
I think just how they stay calm under pressure. Obviously, Fred, he knows how good he is. He knows how quick he can be. He doesn't feel the pressure when he hits the lead. He's very consistent. He's got some interesting lines, which I think everyone sees. But no, he's overall really good. Same with Whitcomb. He's quick. He's strong. He doesn't let anyone bully him. And that's, I think, what you need to be in Senior X30. You just need to be strong in your position and confident in yourself with the pace and everything, which I know it's a brilliant team. They've got really good experience with Mickey Hyam, so I think it's they're more than good enough to deliver a championship.
Louis, thank you very much for your insights. Okay, so 2017, Danny Curl won the World Championships here at PFI. Now Danny, of course, runs the DK Academy, his own team with his brother Ben Curl, and we have arrived here now, and Kiel has some of their youngest drivers.
Thank you very much. Now I found a few. They've transitioned from 4 wheels to 2, a lot of them. Now we've got Ilyas Sami, we've got Evan Owen, we've got Dimitar Uznov. But I'm going to start with the 2 Owen brothers. Ilyas, we are going to get to you. We're going to walk this way. We're going to make our cameraman swivel once again. Dan, there we go. We're going to go this way. Now, Oshan, Kamea, Evan, we might have to drop the 2 wheels for this one. Is that okay? Just for a second. We'll start with Osh. Now, come along. Which way are we going? Oh, we're going this way. Never mind. Okay. Now, Oshan is a new driver. He started partway through this season. You have entered the restricted class. Oshan, how have you found it here in the British Kart Championship so far?
Good. I like it.
You do. Now, your brother, your older brother, is here racing in Water Swift. Was that kind of a reason how you got into this, how you wanted to test so much?
I started in electric and then I really liked it.
And I know you did a lot of practice over at GYG. Do you have a favourite track?
Larkhall.
Larkhall, okay. And what are you thinking of PFI here this weekend? It's a scorcher. Is that making your job harder?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. We'll let you go back to your scooter.
Uh-huh.
Thank you very much, Oshan. Now, Evan, come on in. Evan, we've seen for you a transition in teams partway through the year. How have you found that? Because we are really seeing you excel towards the back end of this year.
Good, yeah, fun.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Well, Evan's got an audience, if I must say, so he's not too impressed right now. Evan, your pace so far this weekend has been good. We saw you perform really strong in Kart Masters. How is that kind of helping your mindset heading into this weekend?
Just good, because now I have more confidence into the PF British, so hopefully we can win tomorrow.
All right, Ilyas, come on in. We're going to do a quick Water Swift switch. Ilyas, we've actually not heard from you for a while here in the Wera Tools British Kart Championships. I know you've wanted to catch up. Talk to us about how your season's going so far.
It's been doing okay. Polled the quali this morning, and then heat 1 I came P2, and then second heat I came P2 as well, and then I started pole for the final, and then I had a little crash in the final, so I came P9, but that's still okay. But I'm okay for the championship, so yeah.
These teammate dynamics is really what we've seen so much of this year, not just within the British, but within Europe as well. You and Chester in particular have worked really hard together against the likes of the Fusion Motorsport boys, Davidson and Hibbert. Now, is that making it harder? As you get towards the back end of this year, you've got kind of more competition within your team because, of course, ultimately you both want to win that championship. How is it inside the awning at the minute?
It's not that crazy at the minute. Some weekends it is, sometimes it ain't. So, yeah.
Well, it's good to hear it's not too crazy this weekend. Danica is also a team that is constantly growing. You've got the likes of a new teammate, Evan Owen. How is that, kind of watching it grow and kind of gaining more teammates within yourself for War Swift?
It's good because Danny can have more team, and then we can more push together at Kart Masters. Me and Evan, we was pushing each other in the quali, and I came P3 and he came P2, and that's very good.
Now, the brilliant thing about these double-header weekends is we go all over again tomorrow. What's the mindset? What are we going to reset with for tomorrow?
Tomorrow we want to pole it. First heat go P1, second heat P1, then win the final.
We're hopefully going to speak to you on the podium then?
Yeah.
Congratulations, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Nicole, over to you.
Okay, so of course the clock is ticking on the Nikki Old Paddock show, but I found Ollie Brunt. Ollie, you've been wearing that McLaren t-shirt all day, and I've been dying to ask you, Lando or Oscar?
Oscar.
Oh, don't tell Mick Barrett that, because I think he's a big Lando Norris fan, if I'm honest. Kiel, we're gonna pull you back in now. Big weekend for our drivers here at PFI. Saturday done and dusted, but we go again tomorrow for a full day of time qualifying, heats and those finals. Of course, yourself, Andrew Mather, and myself, Nicole Sutherland, will be providing all of those insights. Myself and Andrew will be on commentary duties. You'll be down fully immersed in that action. Oh, the first, but I'm sure not the last, Nikki Old Paddock show over and out.